Good afternoon, guys. I am Ryan, Michigan Storm Chasers here. Update video for today, but more so focused today's video on the little bit longer term pattern here for Michigan. Let's first start off by saying if you're unaware of the current activity going on in the state, we are expecting snow, freezing rain, sleet, and all of the above really across portions of Michigan. Full forecast video was posted last night, so go check that out. I will go ahead and briefly go over the latest update here, starting with the overall consensus. Models have not changed. Snow further north should be all snow. Central Michigan, South Central Michigan, sleet, freezing rain, pure rain, and also perhaps some snowflakes mixing in during the afternoon hours here. Now, we did have an initial band of precip come through this morning. Already slicked up roadways. Calhoun, Eaton, Ingham, Jackson counties, especially hard hit. We've had over reports of 40 plus accidents across the state already this morning. Please take it slow. This is why we've been urging caution and stuff like that over the past 24 hours. Please, please, please take it slow. And if you guys would like more information on expected impacts, timing, and all that, on our Facebook page, Michigan Storm Chasers, we are posting updates all day today. This is our page right here. If you haven't followed us, go follow us on Facebook. We have posts like this going out all day. Radar updates here. If you scroll all the way back here to the morning hours, we have a traffic forecast up based on color coordination and also impact arrows back here broke down into zones on when we expect the worst impacts to hit certain areas of the state. So overall, please go check that out. Refer back to the last video as well for more information on today's forecast. Today's video, though, I want to focus a little bit more on the future of Michigan weather. And overall, we've been talking about January and how we are going to be looking at a cold and snowy month, and it still looks to be the case here in Michigan. But first, we have to get through the next week. The next week is going to be a warming trend here. This is a European model based out of Grand Rapids. Go ahead and take a full screen for you guys. Pop out the banner off the screen. There we go. This is a look at the overall temperature guidance for the next week or so. So we're going to see mid 30s today through Wednesday, and then let's get to Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're doing stair steps up into the 50s by the weekend. Then again, that's going to last through about the New Year time period. If you go back to the 00Z, you'll see the trend here. We're going to be looking up, and then we peak at this weekend and a gradual return toward the new year into a more normal pattern into the 30s and perhaps even 20s here. Again, this is based out of Grand Rapids. Similar picture for all the state. Now, a few things we look at for the future. We look on extended models here in terms of the forecast. So we have our typical short-term models like the HRRR, the NAM3 that go out, 60 or so hours into the future. But we also have models like the European, the GFS, the Canadian models that also go out, a month or two in advance here. So we have all sorts of models that we utilize. We're going to utilize something called the extended models today. This is the European, although the difference is it's extended well into the future in terms of our forecast. So the map you look on your screen right here is a temperature anomaly map, which is your average temperature for the United States. So the orangish, yellow, red, brown colors, those are your above average temperatures. Then the blues and greens on the right side there, those are your below average temperatures. So notice how as we move toward Christmas here, this is current on the European, as we move this into the between Christmas and New Year time frame, we are noticing that the entire US is in above average temperature contour. Look up there in Canada, they are likely going to be having 20 to 30 degree temperature above average, 20 to 30 degree above average temperatures there. So if you look at an average temperature, for example, of 20, add 20 to 30 degrees to that, that's going to be your expected temperature forecast there. So between Christmas and New Year here, we are trending into the probably upper 40s, perhaps low 50s for portions of Michigan. So that means any precip that falls between that time frame will likely mean rain and not snow, but also will likely melt a lot of our snow, if not all of it, by the time New Year rolls around. But there's good news for winter lovers. As we move into that first week of January, that warmth exits off to the east, and look what happens on the European model. A more cooler, cold pattern sets in across much of the US, including the Midwest and Great Lakes region for us here in Michigan. So our below average temperatures here, if we look at the average temperature for January, we're looking at roughly 29 or so degrees. We're going to be below that. So that means we're going to be in a colder pattern. Anything below 32 means, yes, Snow is likely for any precip that falls. Not only that, though, go ahead and put this through the time frame. This is mid-January, 9th to the 16th of January here on this map. That sticks around for a good part of January. This is the end of January now, the last week from the 21st to the 28th, still recognized below average there. So the basically the mid-month and beyond looks really, really cold. But here's another thing to keep an eye on. The upper air pattern here, we call them heights anomalies. Look at how active we're going to be here. So the blue color on the right side of your screen here, that means we're in an active pattern. And then the west part of the US there is in a little bit of a warmer color. That means it's less active. As we move into January, check this out as this continues right here. This is your first week of January. Look how active we stay in the eastern United States here. This pattern here moves into the mid part of January and continues to show this blue color, which means above average in terms of our active systems passing through. So not only do we match that cold pattern up, we also match it with the above average in terms of precipitation expectations. So yes, I do think that January, from about that first to second week transition, right around the seventh or so and onward, our chances for snow and cold weather really start to skyrocket here in the Great Lakes region. And yes, I do think that East Michigan's first big snowfall is on the horizon here. And I would still look to that mid-January timeframe. It could be a few days before, it could be a few days after. These patterns like to fluctuate just a bit. But still, we've been looking at a cold and snowy January for about 2, almost 3 weeks straight on these extended models here. And it's becoming agreed upon by the European, the GFS, the Canadian. All of the big models we use are showing this pattern here developing in January. As far as how much snow, of course, we can't get specific yet, but the trend and the pattern here is your friend in long-term forecasting, and it is trending cold, it is trending snowy. So winter lovers, you guys are on deck. But first, let's get through the next 7 to 10 days of above average temperatures. Like we said, we're trending up to the new year, and then we're going to trend back down as we get into the January timeframe. With that being said, I will highlight one more thing about today. We'll be posting updates on our Facebook page. Be sure to follow us, Michigan Storm Chasers, on Facebook. All things you need to know, traffic, weather, it is going to be posted on the page for you guys. And also be sure to stay tuned to our groups, Michigan Traffic and Weather Reports. So we have two groups mainly. The first one's called Michigan Weather Reports. It is for you to report anything weather, freezing rain, snow, rain, report it in that group. And then the second group is for traffic and accident reports across the state. That group is called Michigan Traffic and Accident Reports. I'll go ahead and link the groups in the description below. With that being said, I'll end the video on a shout out to our sponsor. As always, we have Katz Roofing and Siding based out of Lansing. They do roofing, siding, window, and gutter needs across a good chunk of South Central Michigan. 517-485-9886 is your number to call. Thank you to Katz, as always, for being a sponsor of us here at Michigan Storm Chasers YouTube. They keep us running and help cover the cost of operations here. So huge shout out. Be sure to support them in their business. I'll catch you guys tomorrow for another YouTube update video. Be safe, travel safe if you're out on the roads tonight, and do take it seriously, as we do not want to see many accidents today that have already unfortunately been reported. But if we can keep to a minimal, that'd be great. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.